In previous lecture, we were discussing about mites. Mites were actually the kind of organisms that were microscopic in nature. ठीक है, mites जो हमारे पास हैं, they were microscopic. You can actually observe mites under microscope. But ticks, today our topic of discussion is ticks. What are actually ticks? Ticks are actually the small arachnids. ठीक है, ticks जो हैं, they are also categorized under arachnids. Ticks require blood meal to complete their complex life cycle. Ticks are scientifically classified as arachnida, a classification that includes spiders. ठीक है, the fossil record actually suggests that ticks have been around at least 19 million years old. There are almost 800 species of ticks throughout the world. It means they are actually prevalent all around the world. But only two families of the ticks, Ixodidae, hard ticks, and Argasidae, soft ticks, are known to transmit diseases or illness to the humans. Hard ticks have scutum or hard plate on their back, while soft ticks do not have any kind of plate. Ticks are mostly associated with tick-borne diseases that are occurring worldwide. If we discuss general morphology of ticks, ticks are actually larger in size as compared to mites that can be seen with naked eye. If we discuss about their body divisions are absent. Head and thorax are fused. Uh, they actually live on land, field, woods, pastures, fallen leaves, etc. Most of the ticks are usually ectoparasites. They are strictly hematophagous. It means they actually feed on blood meal. They most commonly attach with the host ear, so they are often called as ear ticks. They are specifically associated with host ears, so they are called as ear ticks. That is actually distinguishing character of these ticks. Most ticks act as vector of disease transmission. If we can say that these ticks are itself, they are not dangerous, but they act as transmission of diseases, the transmission of several viral or bacterial diseases. So in this sense, the ticks are actually important. Mostly ticks जो होती हैं, they actually suck blood from the host and swell like miniature balloon like character. This is also associated character, that is also, this is also the character that is associated with ticks, that is used for their characterization or identification. If we discuss about their general life cycle, their life cycle actually consists of four stages, that is egg, larval stage, nymphs, and adults. Mostly adults are not parasitic, only larval and young forms are parasitic and they are harmful. Uh, First of all, if we are discussing about their life cycle, egg laying, the activity of egg laying is actually carried out at masses of grounds. That can be leaves, that can be stony material, that can be any hard wood piece or any type of material. Then after egg laying, hatching is actually occurring. Hatching is carried out, and the young ticks are called also called as sea ticks. They actually they are strictly parasitic in nature. Then there is one unique character that is associated with these ticks, is that these show actually specificity to heat and carbon dioxide. That is actually acting as their attractant. These sea ticks are actually attracted by heat and carbon dioxide, so they can find a new host. And after that, after attachment to their host, they are converted into adult forms, and then they repeat their life cycle. Mostly ticks are important in terms of veterinary medicine, because ticks are actually associated with most of the cattle species like goats, calf, cows, and some wild animals. But so they have significance, or they are valuable in terms of veterinary medicine. Uh, Ticks are actually itself, they are not pathogen, they are not harmful to animal or human beings, but they are serving as transfer of many pathologic organisms. It means they can serve as vector. They are actually the causative agents of different types of diseases. They are actually classified
आपकी
as,
आवाज नहीं आ रही.
they are actually classified at generic level by their mouth parts. That is also the identification character of the ticks. Ticks are mostly identify their mouth parts, um, that they are showing specific types of structures that are associated with these ticks. Ticks are actually several types, among them foul tick. Okay, next we will discuss about foul ticks. Its scientific name is Argus persicus open. Argus persicus is actually the common poultry tick. If we discuss about its morphology, the morphology of Argus persicus is a bit flattened and oval in shape. It's orange in color. Yeah, it is actually eight-legged arachnid. In previous lecture, I was discussing about mites, and I will have told you that its all stages are eight-legged except larval form, that is having six legs. Okay? That is specific character, that is in all larval stages will bear six-legged. Life cycle of this Argus persicus open is actually consistent of four juvenile stages, almost same like other ticks. Mostly, this tick is common in poultry. Accidentally, this tick actually attack human beings, and that is not that much dangerous. What is called, it causes bit itching or irritation to human skin. Next, the next tick is cattle tick. Cattle tick is the scientific name of cattle tick is Boophilus microplus. सॉरी बच्चों, यहाँ पे थोड़ी सी हो गया. Boophilus microplus is common cattle tick. If we discuss about its morphology, it is actually a bean-shaped and hard and wrinkled skin. The life cycle of this tick also consists of four juvenile stages. If we talk about the distribution of this tick, this tick has actually got worldwide distribution, and it is also hematophagous. It also sucks blood. Simply or generally, we can say all ticks are actually strictly dependent on blood meal for their life survival, for their all activities, for their life continuity. They are strictly dependent on host blood. They mostly transmit protozoan parasites like Babesia bovis and Babesia bigimina. If cattle is actually infected by these ticks, they will transmit these bacteria or protozoan parasites. They will transmit some protozoa, some bacteria to cattle, and that is causing almost 90% mortality in infant cattle. Next, how we can actually generally control ticks. The general control of the tick is actually the acaricide spray. Several types of acaricides are actually available in the market that are actually utilized for ticks control. Second one is dip or bathing method that is used to treat the ticks. Some products are available like pyrethrums, carbide compounds that are actually applied on the skin of animals to control these ticks that are also effective. And then next is the control of host. How we can actually control these, how we actually control host. We can remove infected animal from the place where the ticks are actually abundant, so we can separate. It's simply we can say we can place infected animal in separate place when the ticks are actually removed, when there is the infection is actually passed. So we can again manage our cattle or cow to same place with other animals, but while animal is infected, we can have some isolation methodologies, so we can control these ticks as well. If you want to study further about these ticks, here is a link for more detailed study. You can find more about how these ticks are actually affecting cattle, what are actually signs and symptoms, so you can search online about this topic. Okay? Next, we will generally discuss what is actually the tick word. Ticks. If we characterize overall characters of ticks, ticks are actually the strictly blood-sucking arthropods. They are obligate hematophagous. It means they are strictly dependent on their host for the blood meal. They are mostly ectoparasites of mammal, birds, and sometimes reptiles and amphibians that are actually the accidental hosts. But they are strictly ectoparasites of mammal, more specifically mammals, and sometimes they infect birds and other reptiles and amphibians. They are actually serve as life-threatening vector that is actually considered as ranked second number after mosquitoes. It's mean number one जो number one जो हमारे पास आ जाती है लाइफ थ्रेटनिंग डिजीज दैट इज मलेरिया, और सेकंड नंबर पे जो हमारे पास इन्फेक्शंस आ जाते हैं दैट आर ड्यू टू these ticks. It means they are catastrophic, they are dangerous for human beings and cattle as well. They actually transmit greater variety of infectious agents, and they actually causes economic losses. If we go for a very brief classification of these ticks actually belong to kingdom Animalia, phylum Arthropoda, class Arachnida, subclass Acri, order Ctesiformes, suborder Oxodidae. Generally, almost 800 different types of species of these ticks are actually present, but only two are of major concern: Oxodidae, that are actually the hard ticks, and Ergasidae, that are actually considered as soft ticks. Okay? The third ones are Neutralidae. These are actually of much less concern. Mostly we are actually focusing on hard ticks and soft ticks, and these hard and soft ticks are actually responsible for transmission of several pathogenic organisms to cattle and human beings. So these are actually most widely studied species of ticks. Here in this picture, you can see different types of hard ticks like Ambyloma, Dermacentor, Hematophysalis, Hyloma, Ixodidae, and Rhipicephalus. All these are actually the names of different types of hard ticks. In the third number picture, you can see this is a structure that is actually having full of blood, that is miniature balloon-like structure. In this picture, you can see a swollen balloon-like structure is associated with Hemaphysalis. Rhipicephalus is most commonly found in cattle, sheep, goats, and sometimes pigs and other wild animals. In the next diagram, you can see there are different types of soft ticks like Argus persicus open is in previous slides we have studied about Argus persicus open is actually the poultry, or it mainly specifically affects different types of birds, and Otobius and Ornithorodorus, that is all these are actually the soft ticks that are their actually body structure, their cuticle is actually soft, and hard ticks are actually the kind of ticks that are bearing very hard structure. They are unable to remove by different types of methods. Here is the very brief morphology of these ticks. If we discuss about the body section of these ticks, their anterior capitulum are gnathosomal, which is actually containing the head, mouth parts, and posterior idiosoma, which contain the leg, digestive tract, and reproductive organs. In this diagram, you can see the different types of body divisions of these ticks very clearly, and if we differentiate between soft and hard ticks, we can distinguish all these ticks by their some morphological features. They are actually distinguished by dorsal sheet. It means their dorsal covering is actually very important, or serve as important identification character. They are actually distinguished by their dorsal sheet, small in female but covers the entire dorsal surface in males. They are also tapered interiorly, and the mouth parts are readily visible from the dorsal view. In this diagram, you can see a hard tick that is showing all morphological characters. Soft ticks are actually having bit leathery texture, and they are without any type of dorsal sheath. Their mouth parts are subterminally attached and not visible from dorsal view. Mostly, these hard and soft ticks are actually characterized by their mouth part. Their mouth parts are actually considered as their distinguishing characters. We can actually characterize these identified at these ticks at generic level by microscopic examination of their mouth parts. On the basis of their mouth parts, these two families are actually characterized: Oxodidae, that are actually the hard ticks, and Ergasidae, that are soft ticks. Ergasides are actually characterized by having their visible scutum or their mouth parts while Ixodidae is actually characterized by having their kind of structures, the mouth parts that is having anterior margin. In this diagram you can see that is a hard tick that is showing its anterior protrusion of its mouth parts, while in case of soft tick you can see the mouth parts are not visible. It means they are ventrally placed, and um, they are actually simple. You can say in case of hard ticks these mouth parts are placed at anterior region, while in case of soft ticks their mouth parts are specifically associated with their ventral surface. And I have already told you about different types of ticks. Among them, Argus persicus open and cattle tick, that is Buphilis microplus or Rhipicephalus. These are actually the two common types of ticks that are specifically associated with cattle and other types of wild animals. If we generally discuss the life cycle in diagrammatic form, you can see the male and female actually mate, and the female feeds to engorgement, and then eggs are laid, hatching of eggs, larval that is having 6 stages, then feed and detach from its host, then gravid female oviparous of egg, then nymph that is having 8 legs, no genital aperture, feed and detach and mold an adult, and then it complete its complete life cycle. This is actually the life cycle that is showing the structure, the morphology and the structure of different types of ticks. They almost share same type of life cycle. Almost all ticks are having same type of. Adults are actually the kind of organisms that are independent, mostly जो हमारे पास होते हैं इनके लार्वल फॉर्म्स होती हैं, सॉरी लार्वल नहीं बल्कि इनकी जो हमारे पास यंग वंस होते हैं वो क्या करते हैं, फीड करते हैं. जब अपनी फीड जो होते हैं ये प्रॉपर ले लेते हैं, आफ्टर दैट दे डिटैच फ्रॉम द होस्ट इन फॉर्म ऑफ मिनिएचर balloon like structure, and they again complete their life cycle, and they find a new host, and in this way their cycle is actually repeated. If we are actually mainly focusing on the mouth parts of these hard bodied ticks. ये हमारे पास जो hard bodied mouth parts हैं इनका जो है, this is actually the microscopic diagram that is actually showing the ticks. How ticks are actually extracting blood by cutting the hole in the host epidermis, into which they insert their hypostome in order to keep the blood from clotting by exerting an anticoagulant or platelet aggregation inhibitor. ठीक है, कि आपके पास क्या है कि यहाँ पे जो एक वर्ड यूज हो रहा है that is कि view from below and view from the above. This is actually the mouth parts of hard body ticks that is showing different types of structures like dorsal ridge, posterior spur, interior spur, and all these are actually the mouth parts that how these ticks are actually feeding, and their mouth parts are actually specifically associated with identification character. Their mouth parts are actually considered as identification factor for the characterization of different types of ticks from mites. Mites are actually microscopic structures, and they cannot be visualized without aid of microscope. But ticks are actually the kind of structures that are large enough to be seen with the naked eye. If we generally discuss their significance, we can say ticks actually causes bite, stress, production loss, physical damage. They can cause anemia. Anemia is actually the main reason because they are strictly hematophagous. They are obligate ectoparasites, so they can cause anemia to animals. They are actually associated with poisoning. They play a very important role in diseases transmission. If we are talking about tick-borne diseases, ticks are actually associated with the development of different types of diseases like tick-borne diseases, that is meningoencephalitis, Colorado tick fever, Nairobi sheep disease, African swine fever, Kremen Congo hemorrhagic fever. It means in case of viral infections, these ticks actually serve as vector for transmission of various types of viruses, and these viruses actually develop different types of diseases in different types of cattle. One famous associated disease one famous disease that is specifically associated with these ticks is that is Rocky Mountain disease, spotted fever in different types of horses. ठीक है, कि हमारे पास जो horses में है Rocky Mountain spotted fever disease जो है वो इन ticks की वजह से हो रही है. Itself these ticks are actually not causing any kind of disease, but they transmit actually the bacteria that is actually serving as disease development. ठीक है, the disease that is associated with these ticks that is called as Lyme disease. Lyme disease is specifically associated with bacterium that is actually carried by ticks, and that can be serious problem for the horses if the disease spread to the humans, because horses and human beings are living in close proximity. Most of the horses are actually captured in different types of stubbles and different types of places. So if horse is actually infected by these ticks infection, they can transmit different types of diseases to humans. And Lyme is very famous tick associated disease that is caused in horses, and its signs and symptoms are specifically associated with flu, nausea, and sometimes vomiting. Lyme disease is most common in horses, but it's sometimes accidentally transmitted to human beings, and human beings can also get flu-like symptoms. And other bacterial diseases that are specifically associated with these ticks are African tick bite fever and Tularemia tick-borne relapsing fever. Different types of, and simple you can say, they actually serve as transmission of the site where actually these ticks actually bite. They suck blood, and after sucking of blood, they actually detach from their host and they find new host. That can be a human or that can be any other organism. It's mean they travel from one organism to another, so they are serving as vector for transmission of different types of viral and bacterial diseases. In case of protozoan diseases, Babesia bovis and Babesia bigimina, I have told you earlier in my previous slides that they are actually serving as transmission of different types of protozoan parasites. They can cause Babesia, babiosis, filariasis, and bovine anaplasmosis. These are actually all these are actually the types of diseases itself. If we look at all the four factors, rickettsia, virus, bacteria, and protozoa, these ticks are itself, they are not damaging, they are not catastrophic, or they are not harmful to the young adult organism, but they are serving as source of transmission of different types of diseases. So in this sense, they are actually significant in terms of economic importance, because they can cause significant economic loss in different types of cattle that are significant in terms of economic value. Like they can if they cause anemia in the animal, it means that animal will become malnourished, and ultimately meat quality and meat quantities disturbed. They cause different types of damages. They can damage skin and different types of. In previous lecture I was discussing about mites. Mites were actually associated with different types of itching like symptoms. So organism rub itself with the different types of surfaces. They transfer these mites to other organisms, and almost all different types of organisms will get infected from these mites. Similar in a way, these ticks are not dangerous, but they are serving as transmission of different types of viral, bacterial, and protozoan diseases. So in this sense, they are dangerous. How we actually control these ticks, or how we can actually prevent these ticks. Prevention of tick-borne parasitic infection is actually carried out by carried out at three general levels, or three general categorization that can be environmental, personal, and prophylactic measures. If we talk about the environmental techniques, environmental strategies, these involve actually the control of population of deer and other vectors and tick control measures. Simply, in case of environmental techniques, we can actually control the population of deer and other animals that are actually burdened with different types of ticks. We can place different types of animals in isolation. The deer is actually kind of wild animal, but in case of if we have ticks attack in household or domestic animals, we can apply different types of chemical formulations that are actually helpful, so we can get rid of these ticks. In case of personal strategies, personal techniques, these actually involves avoiding any grassy areas with, that is actually having shrubs that actually attract ticks, wearing long trousers and socks, applying parathrin and insect repellent to clothing. In case of personal techniques, which actually we should avoid area that is actually having infestation of these ticks, so uh, um, uh, uh, we can also avoid all these ticks attack via applying different types of clothing activities, so we can get rid of these ticks as well. Then what are actually the prophylactic measures? Prophylactic measures actually the kind of measures that are actually taken before start of any type of disease. Prophylactic measures are actually those measures that are actually taken carried out with the before start or before onset of any type of disease. So these measures actually mostly involve different types of vaccines. Vaccination is actually available for treatment of different types of diseases. So for ticks, vaccines are actually developed that actually make human body immune. Most of the cases, they actually cause different types of rashes or skin irritations that often go unnoticed. In most of the tick bites or ticks infestations, these go unnoticed, and person or any type of animal actually heal itself very rapidly, and they are actually the bites that are actually caused by these ticks are go unnoticed. But in severe cases, in case of person who is actually immunocompromised, who's in case of a human being or in case of cattle or other animal, whose immune system is actually not strong, will be susceptible to catch infection, and that will be more susceptible to disease development or different types of symptoms like fever, nausea, vomiting, and different types of associated others. But most of the time these ticks are actually itself, they are not dangerous. In case of impregnated cloth, the cloth should be impregnated either by spraying or soaking with pyrethromycin insecticides such as permethrin or chlorphyrifin. Cyflothrin. Permethrin at the rate of 0.65 to 1.0 gram of a area per square meter. These are actually the kind of chemicals that are actually available. If we dip our wearing cloths in these types of chemicals, so when they will attack with these attack the different types of human beings are, so they will serve as repellent of ticks. Different types of and then the removal of attached tick is actually done by, it is actually important to examine the body frequently for the ticks during and after visit to the ticks infested area. Sometime जो टिक्स होती हैं बच्चों, इनके जो इन्फेस्टेशन होते हैं कि वी एक्चुअली रिमूव द टिक एंड इट्स माउथ पार्ट्स आर स्टिल impregnated in the skin, and that is actually because its mouth part is specifically associated with biting activity for sucking blood, and its mouth parts may contain different types of viruses or bacteria, and we actually remove tick, but that side will serve as reservoir site for the transmission of different types of virus or bacteria. So proper removal of ticks is actually necessary for to avoid disease development. How actually we generally control ticks? First of all, there are several steps are actually involved for ticks removal. Step one, use actually fine tipped tweezers to grasp the tick to close the skin surface as much as possible. The goal is to remove the entire tick, including its head and mouth, because head and mouth are actually the regions that are specifically associated with disease transmission. Then pull upward with steady, even pressure. Do not twist or jerk the tick. And the third step is clean the bite area and your hands with rubbing alcohol and iodine scrub or soap and water. And how we actually control these things, different types of control measures are actually available that are actually used for the control of ticks. Among them, physical control, chemical control, and biological control. Physical control, that can be general and personal. In case of chemical control, different types of chemicals are actually available. Insecticides are available that are actually used to control these ticks. And in case of biological control, resistant breeders or vaccination is actually available, so we can control these ticks. Removal of ticks is actually important for the prevention and spread of diseases in different types of animals and as well as human beings. Since the ticks are actually ticks actually contain different types of infectious particles, that can be different types of parasites, that can be different types of bacteria, protozoa, or different types of animals. So we because their mouth why we are actually focusing on ticks again, mouth parts again and again, because their mouth parts are only the region is the only region that is specifically associated with the disease transmission. So their mouth parts actually contain the salivary glands that is having hemolymph that actually help in skin rupturing, and they can serve as source of infection. So we can control these to avoid any kind of infection. We can we should use such type of technique that is actually helpful for their mouth parts removal. So removal should be accomplished by strict or strong grasping of the mouth parts that are closely attached to the point with forceps. And one thing should be done. One should that is actually should be followed, that in case of removal of these ticks, we should be very gentle. We should try to remove these ticks as slow as possible, because if we we try to take out tick by force, these ticks these ticks will get ruptured. Their miniature balloon like structure sometime rupture, and they will spread the skin, and they might contaminate your instrument or your forceps or your tweezers and other skin as well. So for their control, it is very important to be very gentle and to remove these ticks very politely. If we are discussing about the control of different types of hosts, the control of host is actually done by using different types of sprays that are actually available. These chemicals are actually suitable for different types of open areas. If we are discussing, we are actually discussing their control on general level. In case of different types of big land areas like big pastures, yards, and different types of recreational areas, and in case of parks, ticks are actually controlled by host reduction and habitat, different types of habitat modification activities. In types of different types of chemical sprays, we can control these ticks. These ticks are actually itself, they are not harmful. They serve as transmission of they play very important role in transmission of different types of viral, bacterial, and they actually cause cancer. They are significant in terms of wet